Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Stephen Nichols here with Black Sheep Martial Arts. Uh, Thought today I would go over just a little bit with you guys some of the material that I'll be covering at this year's Gathering of the Eagles 2024 in St. Louis, Missouri. Part of what my concept when I go into a seminar to teach is not to bring in material that somebody already knows, but instead I like to bring in something that I'm working on personally. And ultimately, I will use the people that are attending the seminar to gain more knowledge. Hey, how does this work? Let's test this. Let's pressure test some of this stuff. And because maybe I've picked up on a concept and I want to see, get some feedback from you guys. So yes, I will use the students as some guinea pigs to gain knowledge for me, and I am not ashamed of that. So one of the things I talk about so much is that Kenpo is not the techniques themselves. It's not just the techniques that we learn. Kenpo is the concepts, the movements that we put together to form the techniques, and the techniques are how we practice those movements. So one of the hidden concepts that I'm kind of stuck on right now is a spiral. It shows up in the Fibonacci sequence. It shows up in everything in life. It shows up in our DNA. It shows up in how our planet moves through the universe. We think of and we talk about in Kenpo, circle into a line and line into a circle, and we're doing circles and all fantastic concepts. Where I'm seeing major power generation and changing time in that become faster, I can control time a little quicker, is by moving in a vortex, moving in a spiral pattern. And that continues to show up. And the more time I spend with it and work with it and work with students, the more I see this helix showing up, and there's a movement change. It's not just straightforward and angles and circular. If we can move in a spiral, in a vortex, it is incredibly powerful and incredibly quick. And so that's what I'll be covering a little more this year. Kind of went over it with delayed sword last year. I introduced it 2 years ago in 2022. GOE introduced applying that helix to delayed sword. I'll probably touch on that a little bit, but I think this year we're going to work a little more on how that applies in other Kenpo techniques, because it's one thing if I'm coming in and I'm cutting this way here, this spiral in. Jay Creel called it Bowden cutting 2 years ago when he was in that seminar with me, and then the spiral as I'm cutting back across the neck, I'm spiraling back out and cutting through here. Still love that. I've seen this as we've been working on stuff where if I spiral in with my uppercut instead of just here, if my body's coming in and spiraling in this way, that power generation and the hydrostatic shock behind that is just amazingly much more exponential. So looking at some of that, really considering going with like applying it to sleeper or clawing panther. I was always told the clawing panther was Al Tracy's favorite technique, so I think it would be kind of honoring if I brought in where I'm at with clawing panther and some of the stuff that I'm seeing and apply it there. So that may be the direction that I go this weekend with that technique. So reach out to me if you have any questions. Otherwise, I really hope, I don't know what the schedule is going to look like for the GOE for instructors, but I would really value the opportunity to meet you all, and if we can come in and work together, and if you have some ideas and if you've seen this helix show up in your Kenpo, share it with me because I am digging this. Like when I'm going to these other seminars around the country and working with people who aren't Kenpoists, and I see when I show them what I'm doing or what I'm teaching or what I'm working on, they'll give me a little tip, and it's just like, oh my gosh, freaking mind blowing. So I love it. I love what we do. I love to teach this stuff. I love to learn it. So please share it with me, and I really hope that I will get to see you at this year's Gathering of the Eagles.